Greetings, greetings, greetings. Shout out to all of you wonderful deep divers. Shout out to everyone who's here. How you doing today? Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. Hope you're taking care of yourself, deep divers. I woke up like this, all magical and flying. We're live, right? We got a lot to talk about. Secret of secrets. It's all over. And let me say a shout out to everyone who's been getting the #1 best-selling book, Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/the-book, the Bible of becoming your greatest version. Also, good ass prana shirts, men, women, and children, even cats. For men, women, children, even cats. All new limited design shirts at ralphsmart.com/clothes and spreadshirt.com if you're in America. And we're doing the fashion show in Miami. If you feel you have what it takes, DM on Instagram at official Ralph Smart. Also, go and get the latest book of 1111 Infinite Quotes, a secret recipe to becoming your greatest version at ralphsmart.com/the-book. Deep divers, shout out to all of you who are here. Like I always say, deep divers, these shows are always interactive. Anytime I do these live stream shows, it's a chance for you to speak. I already got a lot of videos. So hit that super chat, leave a message, give thanks. Also, hit the like button, share the video. We got a lot to talk about, and we're always going to have fun, deep divers. We're always going to have fun. So let's raise the frequency. We need a shield right now. We need a shield right now.
I will be your shield in the fiercest battle. I'll defend you from all these arrows, and the sword I will keep you from danger. Let me be your shield.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just you, me, and the odds. We stuck together, we two peas in a pod. You dealt a bad hand, I'm there seizing the cards. We'll never be separated till we seeing the gods. We've been low together, high forever. Long as we go together, we'll die whenever. Be a light, couldn't let the darkness try you ever. Truth in my word, you I lie to never. And when the world gets a little too hard, wipe your eyes, put away your sorrow. When it's war, I'll be leading the charge, and I'll be still fighting for you tomorrow. Yeah, even with a blindfold or in different time zones, could find my way to you with my eyes closed. There's nothing between us. Go to Mars and Venus, stand in front of every one of them rocks they slinging and be a shield.
Your shield. Yeah. In the fiercest battle, I'll defend you.
I'll defend you
from all these arrows, and the sword I will keep you from danger. Let me be your shield.
Yeah, let's go. Let me be your shield, let me be your shield. Let me be your shield, let me be your shield. Let me be your shield, let me be your shield. Let me be your shield, let me be your.
Shout out to everybody who's here, everybody who's diving deep. How you feeling today, deep divers? Shout out to all of you. So, how's everybody feeling today? Like I say, I haven't done a live for a little while, but the last time I did, we had the brother, Mr. Carson, on the show. And I always bring you the best guest deep divers. I've had so many amazing guests who have been diving deep on infinite waters, right? And that's the whole time we're in right now. Right now, it's all about collaboration, working together, coming together. But I do have to say, on the last live stream show with a guest, that was your opportunity to ask a question. That was your opportunity to ask a question. I was asking questions, but it was your opportunity to say, hey, Ralph, why don't you ask this? Why don't you ask that? And as we move forward, this is what you have to remind yourself of. Like I always say, deep divers, we're in truly phenomenal times. Truly phenomenal times. Once again, I want to thank Mr. Carson for coming on. I want to thank all the guests who have dived deep on infinite waters. So many amazing deep divers. So many amazing people who come on this show. And they come on because this is a place for realness. But I do want to remind you, deep divers, before we even start, let's start off the show with gratitude. Like I always say, we must support our own. We must support our own. Because you see, the inorganic ones always get support. That's why I don't have anything against the inorganic ones. Because they support each other. They respect each other. So hit that super chat and share this video. Support the show. If you want these live streams to continue, if you want the daily uploads to continue, hit that super chat, show appreciation, and give thanks. Because one thing you've got to remind yourself of is that the revolution must be sponsored. With everything happening in the world, you must support people who are doing it. And this is the secret of secrets. Because there are so many people out there who have left, who stopped sharing with the world. And they went to people who were supporting. And you got to remind yourself of that, deep divers. Anytime you see me on the live stream, hit that super chat. Support the show. So like I said, we're going to play a song. I want everybody to hit that super chat and show appreciation, deep divers. If you want the uploads, you want the videos, show appreciation. Then we're going to dive into it. So let's go. Once again, let's raise the frequency.
Someday we'll make it on by. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. Either way, we go together. Someday we'll make it on by. Other days we only can try. Either way, no matter what people say. Either way, we go together. I believe in the future. I believe in the past. I believe what you truly desire, you can bring it past. All you need is a fool.
Right. So like I said, deep divers, I just put out that video. The secret of secrets. I'll just roll with it. Shout out to all you deep divers, the secret of secrets, right? And one of the things you got to remind yourself of right now is that reality is not what it seems. Reality is not what it seems. And this is the big thing. Like I always say, deep divers, let me say a thank you to everyone who's here. Like I said, I'm reading every single super chat. And it was funny. I had Billy Carson on the interview, right? And only $5 came in the super chat. I was ashamed of deep divers. I'm like, I'm sorry, Billy. This is appalling. You should be supporting this, brother. Secret of secrets, right? Eternal abundance, you're most definitely appreciated. Wait a second. Right, so eternal abundance, thank you so much. Thank you, Ralph. I love you. Can you send good vibes and protection to everyone? One love. You see, that's beautiful to say. That's amazing to say. I'm sending, on behalf of eternal abundance, I'm sending good vibes and protection to everyone. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And like I said, when I did the show with Billy, deep divers, anytime I bring on a guest, hit that super chat, show support. Because It was appalling to see only $5 in the super chat for a guest like that. You should be sending super chats, asking questions. So the next guest I bring on, make sure you do that. But eternal abundance is giving thanks. Let's always start with gratitude, deep divers. Let's always start with gratitude. Because like I said, life is blessing me every single day. The secret of secrets, it's all over. It's all over. So reality is not what it seems. Reality is not what it seems. Reality is not what it seems. One of my mentors told me, Ralph, we live in the world we're thinking of. And I always tell you, in the Matrix, a lot of people have a hive mind groupthink mentality. So long as you are following the crowd, you will always be a prisoner and a slave. We are only seeing less than 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum, which is visible light. Less than that, 0.035%. So we are practically blind in the universe. And you expect to know it all? Doesn't work like that. So when you remind yourself that there's not only one version of reality, there are billions of versions of reality. Billions of versions of realities. 8 billion versions of reality. Right? 8 billion versions of reality. That's amazing. That's amazing. But more so, there are levels to this. There are many, many levels to this. And what we see in the world is level 1. Level 1 programming. I'm a 33. Born on March 3rd at 3:03. 33 is the master teacher. And this is the reason why I'm in the position I'm in. Not because I said I want to be here, but because of the numbers. Because this is what my numbers align to. This is what I was called to do. Everything is based on the numbers. Everything is based on the numbers. Shout out to all of you wonderful deep divers. And like I say, this is an interactive show. Oh yeah, you're going to participate, deep divers. You're going to participate. It's not going to be just be me talking. Hode, yo, Rich, you're appreciated. Shout out to you. You're most definitely appreciated. So everything is based on the numbers. And when you remind yourself of this, it all begins to make sense. Everybody is here for a different reason on this planet. And everyone is at a different level, a different stage. Sometimes you might see someone, but you don't even have any clue about what they're here to do. You don't know about their mission. You don't even know who the hell they are. And I always want you to remind yourself that in these days and times, people are not who they seem. Many people are not who they seem. Many people might appear one way, but be another way. And this is why I always tell you, when I was starting on this journey and my mentor said, you're a 33, he said, Ralph, you've got a very important job to do. I said, what's that? He said, you're here to inspire millions of people. Don't worry. The seas are going to part ways. You are going to be protected. Abundance is going to flow your way. All you have to do is do your job. I said, really? And this is the reason why I'm still here after all these years, because I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing as the 33 master teacher. We've got to remind ourselves, millionaires don't study astrology. Billionaires do. That's a slow motion. Slow motion this side. And there are certain people who know who I am, and they have to respect it, because there are forces behind me who are tremendously powerful. How on earth do you think I'm still here inspiring millions of people? It's not through my grace. It's through the universe's grace. And this is the secret of secrets. When you remind yourself, so long as you are in your purpose, doing exactly what you were divinely called here to do, you will be protected. So long as you are not in your path or purpose, it's going to end badly. And this is the reason why every day I wake up in peace and harmony. And the reason why is because I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm in my purpose. I'm doing what my mentor told me I should be doing over 10 years ago. He said, Ralph, you're a 33. That means all you have to do is be a guide to millions of people. Don't worry, you will be protected. Abundance will come your way, so long as you remain in your purpose and don't deviate from that. So when I saw my journey, let me shout out to everyone who's here. Deep divers, hit that like button. Share the video. This is an interactive show. It's not about me talking. Hit that super chat, hit that like button. I want to hear from you. I'm reading every single super chat. If there's a specific question, topic you want me to dive into, we can talk about it, deep divers. We got all day, and we definitely got all night. We just started. We just started, deep divers. Isaac Voaman, you are most definitely appreciated. Thank you so much. Hey Ralph, I have been spending a lot of time in meditation in the forest while listening to your meditation frequencies and realized I thought I was awake. Now realizing I was fast asleep, and now realizing how frightened the 3D is. Much love. Shout out to you. Yeah, most definitely. There's a lot of fear in the 3D. A lot of fear, a lot of separation in the 3D, a lot of division in the 3D. And this is the reason why I told you there are levels to this. So many levels upon levels. And the masses are fast asleep. But there is a turning of the tide. Many people want to go to that next level. I'm already there. Other chosen ones, other light workers, other way showers are already there. But the sleeping giant humanity is starting to roll over and say, hey, I want more. I don't want to be a caterpillar anymore. The 3D is over. That whole program is crashing. That whole program that has been in operation for thousands of years is imploding, crashing, eating itself alive because of its greed, because of its arrogance. And humanity has carried a lot of arrogance around. Humanity has carried a lot of ego around. Humanity believed it was an ecosystem for so long, not realizing it's an ecosystem. That's a slow motion. The secret of secrets, it's all over. Everything we're seeing right now happening in the world is supposed to happen. It's happening for a reason. And it's going to reach a certain level where it gets worse before it gets better. Because you see, the foundation this current civilization was built upon was a house of cards, a shaky foundation. And the reason why is because it has deviated from universal laws. The Hopi elders, I did the whole video on the Hopi tribe, the Hopi prophecy, and the Native American Hopi elders, right? That video went viral. And humanity is in for a whole lot of trouble unless they begin to get their act together. Let me shout out to Dove Heart. You're most definitely appreciated. Shout out to you. Shout out to Dove Heart. Shout out to Serene Grace in the house. The most incredible Serene Grace. You're most definitely appreciated. Dove Heart, shout out to you. Gratitude and appreciation, Ralph. One love, peace. Hey, you are most definitely appreciated. Thank you so much. So we can see right now on the planet that there's a great inversion that's been in operation for a long time. And the great inversion has you living backwards, living in reverse, living outside of your true nature. And this is the reason why a lot of people are suffering. And that's why I told you many, many years ago when my mentor said, Ralph, you've been living in reverse. If you really want to go to the next level, you're going to have to get right with yourself. You're going to have to go to that master teacher level, the 33. I had to stop living in reverse. When you live in reverse, L-I-V-E, it becomes evil, E-V-I-L. And a lot of the world is living in reverse. They're outside of the self-awareness. Those two words, self-awareness. When you aren't aware, you are in ignorance. And humanity has been in ignorance for a long time because it's refused to wake up to its true power. And this is the reason why it's a call for humanity to see that that's the last hope for you. Because things are really heating up on the planet, no pun intended. And it has only been done because people have accepted their slavery. The whole world is a plantation. And when we talk about the secret of secrets, it goes back thousands of years. Earth has been colonized for millions of years. Other countries colonize each other. You see, people think slavery was just in America and all of that stuff. No. The word slave comes from the European word Slav, right? In Eastern Europe, you had slaves. In Arabia, you had slaves. All over the world, countries colonized other countries, invaded other countries. So humanity has been enslaving itself. And this is the reason why you see what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. It's a tit-for-tat situation. So humanity is in predominantly a war state. What kind of emotions are war? We're talking about fear. We're talking about anger. We're talking about pride. We're talking about grief. We're talking about apathy. You don't care about your neighbor. In other words, humanity is on a low frequency. Corey, shout out to you. Humanity is on a low frequency. Right? Humanity is on a low frequency. Shout out to you, Corey. Deep divers, hit that like button, share the video. Corey, wholeness and balance vibrations to you and your family and everyone who reads this, Brother Ralph. Please get Seven Boma on the podcast. Shout out to you. We got a lot of guests who can always come on Infinite Waters. That's the beauty of Infinite Waters, that there are so many people who can come on and dive deep. But like I always say, the most important thing is you, what's going on with you. I always tell you, focus on yourself, because right now, so many people are realizing that's what they have to do. You have to focus on yourself and be as free as you can. Be as free as you can, be as free as possible. Jean-Jacques Rousseau wrote The Social Contract, French philosopher. He said, man is born free, yet everywhere he is in chains. Man is born free, yet everywhere he is in chains. I read that in university. And the secret of secrets is that you have to break the contract. This is how to really free yourself. You must break the contract. And the contract is what a lot of people have signed, the social contract. And this is the reason why, so long as you're in the social contract, you'll always suffer. Many people have been divided through race, religion, political ideal, nationality. And I always tell you, these are the traps of the matrix. Started a long time ago. We know that ETs came down. Even in the Bible, it talks of the Nephilim, giants breeding with the daughters of earth. We know that the human being today has been modified and altered genetically. We also know that we're not the only life form on this Milky Way galaxy. There are Earth-like planets everywhere. We also know that more and more people are seeing UFOs. Why is this all important? Because it's showing you there is so much you don't know about. And there's no time for you to even dive deep if you're still stuck in a sunken place. And a lot of people are stuck in the sunken place. And the secret of secrets is that you're going to have to be a master architect. To get out and free yourself, you're going to have to be a master architect of your own reality. Like I said, majority of people don't know any other reality but this. This is what keeps you in the grid, the construct of the Maya. Only believing this is the way it is. See, many people wake up, they say, I can't change the way things are. Ever heard someone say that, deep divers? I can't change the way things are. This is life. That's life, right? And this is the predominant attitude of many human beings on the planet. They wake up, they say, I can't change it. That's life. This is the way it's supposed to be. Deep divers, do you feel that this is the way it's supposed to be? Do you honestly feel this is the way the world is supposed to be? You've got to remind yourself the world is nothing more than a figment of your imagination. Every building you see was created with someone's mind first. It was drawn out, planned, erected. So someone's reality, someone's version of reality has become the collective reality. And this is the reason why it's so important when we talk about the secret of secrets, to start learning how to create your own reality. You know, I always talk of the subconscious mind. Within the first 7 years, you can reprogram it. Well, you see, a lot of people place their trust and hope in a family member to do that, not realizing in those first 7 years, a lot of people are programmed. So, where we find ourselves, a lot of people have to deprogram, unplug, unlearn. And it's a long journey, because you see, a lot of people have so many programs running, they don't even realize they're actually viruses. And this is the reason why you need some antivirus software inside of your mind to remove those negative programs which are really keeping you out of your greatness. That's a slow motion. Deep dive is how you're feeling today. I woke up like this, all magical and fly. Hit that like button, hit that super chat, share the video. Let me know also what's on your mind. A lot is happening in the world. And we've got to remind ourselves we're at a very powerful time. You see, this is a time for unity. First and foremost, this is a time for unity. So people were very excited when I started to collaborate with my good friend TL Swan, when I brought Sadhguru on, Billy Carson on, all of these people. And this is the time for that. You see, I told you, a lot of people who right now are starting to become their greatest versions, level up, they're now starting to realize unity is key. Only unity can get us through this. And you need to be connecting with as many like minds as possible. This is the secret of secrets. And you see, the inorganic ones know this so well. You might think, hey, the inorganic ones, no, they work together. They're on code. They support each other. That's why I told you. If you want great information, good energy, support the show. Because the inorganic ones get as much support as they need. And this is the reason why they control the 3D. Because you don't need a lot of people. All you need is a few people that support each other. That's a slow motion. You can have many, many people who don't like each other. They're separated, they're divided, and they're weak. And that's what humanity has become. In modern day times, it's become very weak because you've got country against country. My God is better than your God. My religion is better than your religion. My race is better than your race. All of this separation and division. And the inorganic ones are winning. You know why? Because they don't have any of that. They just work together. So this is a very important time right now to work as much as you can together. Also, we've got to remind ourselves this is a great time to level up as much as possible. There are so many people who know they've been lied to. And everybody has been lied to. And that's okay. Now you have to wake up and do something about it. But if you continue to know you've been lied to and to continue to perpetuate the lie, well, you got nothing to complain about. If you know what's going on, but you're still continuing to jump into a burning house, you got nothing to complain about. Now is the time that if you know something, you got to act upon it. And this is the secret of secrets. So many people right now are not only reading up on it, they're doing something about it. Let me shout out to K-Poppy in the house. K-Poppy, you are most definitely appreciated coming in on the 11/11. K-Poppy, shout out to you. Thank you for being a lighthouse and sharing your journey with the world. You're an inspiration to so many, including myself. Much gratitude to you, Ralph, for keeping it real. And that's why I say I've only got gratitude, because people like K-Poppy is a true supporter. There's a lot of people who've only come around, Johnny come latelys, but people like K-Poppy have really been holding Infinite Waters down. And you're most definitely appreciated. So we're living in powerful times right now, but also times where a lot of people are going to have to make a choice. A lot of people are going to have to choose between doing something with what they know or living in a state of fear. It's going to take a lot of effort for you to go to that next level. It's going to take a whole lot of effort for you to create your own reality. It's not easy. That's the reason why only a few people will ever do it. Only a few people will ever get there. Over 90% of the population will continue to live in misery, pain, and suffering. And the reason why is because change is hard. If you've been living a lifestyle, even if it's not serving you, that's all you know. If you say, hey, I want to do something else, you got to start from scratch. Most people don't want to put in the work. They don't want to do the work. They're afraid of making mistakes. They don't want to fail. And this is exactly what keeps them out of their greatness. That's a slow motion. That's a slow motion. So we got to remind ourselves right now. Let me shout out to Jules. You're most definitely appreciated. Shout out to you. Jules C, you're most definitely appreciated. Shout out to you, Jules C. So we've got to remind ourselves right now that you're going to have to step up. I realize that, okay, what would happen if I start connecting with other like minds who are doing this? And this is the time we're on. You see, people want to see your journey. They want to see, okay, Ralph Smart Infinite Waters been inspiring millions for over 10 years. He's an OG in the game, triple OG in the game. What happens when Superman and Batman come together? Oh my gosh. Right? What happens when the Avengers come together? Thanos and all of them, right? So we're in this time where right now it's about people coming together. And also it's about having that perseverance along your journey. You see, a lot of people didn't make it. And a lot of people have not made it to be custodians, gatekeepers. Shout out to you. Let me first shout out to Studio H in the house. Studio H, you're appreciated. I gotta thank Studio H for always supporting Infinite Waters. How you feeling today, Studio H? Right? So much appreciation to you, Ralph. How can all the nations unite in peace? Can each of us work on ourselves to bring harmony to the world or separation? That's a great question. That's a great question. So, you see, I told you, nations can never unite in peace so long as they are separated from another nation. This is the reason why you've got Israel and Palestine, Russia and Ukraine, Kosovo and Serbia. Every nation you look is in conflict, right? And it's happened because of ego. And this is not something that's just happened. It's happened since the dawn of time. You see, you've you might think of like the EU, European Union, and all of these things. No, there are countries still at war with each other because of ego. And the only way for that to end is for people, individuals, to wake up. There's no country for you to fight for because you aren't a country. You're so much more than that. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. So you've got to remind yourself. That's why I said nothing is more powerful than a human being who's awakening, who's waking up. When you're a human being and you say, actually, I'm not a country. I'm not French. I'm not German. I'm not Spanish. I'm not Nigerian. All of these things are programs designed to keep you in the matrix. I told you, inorganic ones don't have any of that because they're smart. They just say, okay, what's today's agenda? And for humanity to come together, it has to begin to lose the labels, the divisions, the separations, because all of these are the illusions which will continue to create wars and escalate things to worse degrees. It must start with the individual first and foremost. The great Krishnamurti said, have you ever wondered why you have leaders? That's a slow motion. Right? You're supposed to be a sovereign being unto yourself. But you see, because humanity has been so dumbed down, it needs someone to govern them. They need someone to govern them because they don't know how to govern themselves. And this is the reason why it's a long journey for humanity to learn the secret of secrets. How you feeling today, deep diver? Shout out to you. We have another question. Oro Miss, shout out to you. You're appreciated. Hi, Ralph. Thank you. Is it possible to lose their infinite being? Is it possible for you to lose their infinite being? Can a human being no longer be infinite, like you lost your infinite self, your infinite consciousness? I have got spiritual attacks from negative entities due to porno addiction. Oh, you got to remind yourself, Aramis, that absolutely you can fall from grace. You know, you got to remind yourself, human being is also an animal. Human being is part divine. Also, it is part animal, because every human being has a reptilian ancestry. That's the reason why you have a reptilian brainstem. So it's actually more effort for you to rise to your higher nature and God's self. That takes a lot of work, because the natural state is to be a reptilian, is to be a reptile, because you got a reptile brain. And this is the reason why you see countries at war with each other, because they're using the animalistic part of themselves. And then there are those who have been able to transcend that and go to far greater regions than we've ever seen before. So you got to remind yourself that, like I said, deep divers, the history you've been taught, the history you've been taught, the history you've been told is not the right one. For example, they said Christopher Columbus found America. No, he was lost at sea. Right? And you can't find something where people are already there. That's a slow motion. Slow motion this side. You can't find something where people are already there. There were already people living in the Americas for thousands of years. Right? And go and take a look at the Olmec heads, right? The Olmec heads, those giant statues. There was a whole So many people already in America. So the whole notion that Christopher Columbus discovered America is not the truth. So that's why I say, when you remind yourself that his story is his story, you've got to start telling your story. And you have to remind yourself that perception is reality. And this is part of the secret of secrets. It doesn't have to be real. They just have to perceive it as real. And this is how so many millions have been brainwashed and continue to be so, because they don't think for themselves. And part of the secrets of secrets is to start to think for yourself, start to create your own reality, start to realize that words are spells. Thoughts have power. Actions have even more power. And every single day you want to remind yourself that you're in a big jungle. You see, nature created every species with a phenomenal kind of intelligence. Ever tried to get close to a bird, deep dive as it just flies away? You know, it's got these internal senses. It can sense vibrations. That's what happens. It can sense vibrations. That's the reason why the bird knows how to fly. As soon as you come near, it's already gone, because it picks up the subtle vibrations emanating from you. And all animals, all species have tremendous powers to stay alive. But you see, when someone gets carried away, they get eaten alive. There was a bird, and all birds are normally on a tree that's high. But this bird wanted to be smart and stay low. There was a fox round the corner just waiting. And the fox took its opportunity. That should never happen. But it happened because that bird was not aware. Anytime you're not aware, you can also become prey. And this is the secret of secrets. Humanity, in its greatest power, can become invincible, unstoppable. But if you fall asleep, you get drunk, you're going to do things you're going to regret the night after, the day after, the morning after. And this is the reason why you don't want to fall asleep. It's so easy to fall asleep out here, deep divers, because there are so many distractions and so much entertainment. And shout out to Nas, who said, I never sleep because... What did Nas say? I never sleep because sleep is the cousin of death, right? And that was really a metaphor that you don't want to fall asleep. You want to stay wide awake. Eyes wide open. Especially in these days and times. The problem is, a lot of people don't realize you're going to have to press pause. You're going to have to say stop. You're going to have to say, okay, let me stop what I'm doing. Humanity has developed a kind of neurosis which says just go. It doesn't know where it's going, but it's just going and going and going till eventually people fall into the problem. Like I said, don't use your time and energy in a job only to come home to have no time or energy for the life you're working for. And many people continue to go on that treadmill, just like a hamster, until eventually they realize that they can't stop. Because you see, to stop what you're doing takes a tremendous amount of self-awareness. A lot of people wake up and they just want to do something. But if you're not careful, you might do something very stupid that you might regret the day after. And that's why it's very important to act with self-awareness. Oh, we're diving deep today. Deep divers, hit that like button, share the video. Hit that like button, share the video. The secret of secrets, it's all over. This story, which is now slowly coming back into the minds of millions of people, that actually we're not alone in the universe. I told you about all of the Earth-like planets which are around. UFO sightings everywhere. ET sightings everywhere. Kepler 186f, Kepler 22b. There are Earth 2.0s, Earth 3.0s all over the place. And this is classified information. And many pilots will tell you they've seen things. Many people have seen it out of their own window. But that might seem a bit too far. So we can stick to what we see. And what a lot of people see right now is that humanity, the matrix, the program is collapsing. And it's only going to keep collapsing. Because, once again, it wasn't built on anything sustainable. It wasn't built on anything truthful. It was built on a house of cards. This is the reason why it's all over. A lot of people already knew this. And they're celebrating. And they're out of the matrix, out of all of that, in the new world. We're in truly powerful times right now, deep divers. Truly powerful times. Shout out to all of you who are here, deep divers. All of you who are diving deep. There's a talk of temperature rising, right? It's getting hot. But like I say, don't fall for these programs. It's always been hot, depending on the cycle. Nothing has changed under the sun. But once again, they need to tell you these things. And you got to remind yourself that let me shout out to Isaac. Hit that like button, deep diver, share the video. Let me shout out to Isaac. Isaac, shout out to you. Thank you, Ralph. I realize that I have a mission to elevate consciousness and I'm becoming free of the darkness. Love 5D. Hey, that's what's up. And this is what's happening as well on the planet. So many people are realizing this. They're realizing they have a mission to elevate consciousness. You see, deep divers, I was able to infiltrate the mainstream. And like I said, this should not really happen, right? But what did my mentor tell me? You're 33. The seas will part ways for you. The message you have to share will reach millions of people. Infinite Waters is a household name. Go to the four corners of the world, I guarantee you, if they've got an internet connection and they're starting to wake up, they would have come across one video by Infinite Waters. This is a good thing. Because when I see people, even like Sadhguru, who has over 10 million subscribers, this is showing you that on the planet, people are ready to wake up. People are hungry for information. Right? These are all the signs that actually we're no longer the minority. We're actually the majority. That's a slow motion. And this is why I told you, in the end, it will all start to make sense. In the end, it will all start to make sense. The first will be last, and the last will be first. Let me shout out to A Person's Perspective. You're most definitely appreciated. Thank you so much for that. A Person's Perspective, shout out to you. One time I saw a big blush shining light spark up bright and disappear, as if CPT Kirk, Captain Kirk, had just ordered engage on warp drive. We are having a coffee outside on a summer's night. It was surreal. Hey, that's why I told you. You know, a lot of people are seeing strange things happening, but this has always been happening. And it's just showing you that we've never ever been alone. We've always been surrounded by other people. But like I said, you have to see it for yourself. You have to realize this is just a humbling experience for you to realize that everywhere you go, there is life. It's just that so many people are so preoccupied with other things, they don't even have the time to dive deep in these kind of realms. Because a lot of people are still struggling, striving, trying to pay the bills, all of these things. Countries are caught up in war. And you've got to remind yourself, everything about the lost history of the planet, what happened before they started to write it down. So much happened. And the deeper you dive, you realize that many people were here before human beings. I can't really call them people. But many entities were here who are now gods that you worship. And when you remind yourself, this is why I told you, you're in a slave plantation and you're here to get as free as you can. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be very difficult because the programs have been running for so long. This is all people know. It takes a very brave soul to undo what they've learned. Krishnamurti was chosen to be the world leader. He refused that title. He said, I'm letting go of all the titles you put on me, all of the labels you put on me. And he was one of the most inspirational people I know, because he really got it. He went to the UN saying, hey, all of you should be ashamed of yourself. He told the whole UN off. You should go and watch that video of Krishnamurti at the UN, his speech. And he was way, way ahead of his time, because he realized that humanity will destroy itself because they still haven't learned that separation is the big illusion. The truth is one humanity. The truth is we're all connected. And change can only really happen on an individual level, first and foremost. Let me shout out to Serene Grace, the wonderful, the incredible, magnificent Serene Grace. Hey. Serene Grace, you're most definitely appreciated. Thank you so much for that. We have been blessed with this master teacher. Thank you. Infinite blessings to all this unity we create. Doesn't happen overnight. Please don't give up. We are here and we got you. We are worthy. Shout out to you. You're most definitely appreciated. And that's a message for all of you deep divers. Don't give up. Don't give up, because you're not finished yet. You're here to become even more. Do not give up. Absolutely. Serene Grace, you're always blessing us with these great messages. Thank you so much. So one thing you've got to remind yourself of is that even what I'm doing, I can never give up. I can never stop doing what I'm doing, because once again, like my mentor told me, so long as I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm always going to be blessed, protected, guided, taken care of, living in infinite abundance. I'm just being myself, and I'm still making it, inspiring millions of people. And the universe sent me to give you an example that Ralph Smart is someone who's just breathing that good ass prana every single day and is moving mountains. And that's why I say the universe chose me, and universe chose other people to deliver this kind of message, that we got to choose love right now. Humanity does not need any fear, separation, division. All it needs is self-awareness. I'm just holding the space. That's all I was sent to do. Hold the space. Give people enough time to wake up. Someone has come across one of my videos. Could have been in 2019. Could have been in 2015. But they've seen my beautiful face and said, oh, what that guy said? I've planted a seed in people's minds all around the world. And that's what I'm here to do. You may not get it right now, but in a few years, the seed is going to start to grow. Can I get a hello there, deep divers, right? I receive a lot of messages from people who say, Ralph, I didn't get it. When you were talking about the pineal gland and the third eye in 2012, now I understand it, Ralph. When you were talking about how to stop absorbing people's energy, now I know how to do it. When you were talking about how to eat better, now I understand it. And I've got so many videos on so many different topics. And the beauty of it is everybody will get what they need to know. And they may not get the information right now. They may not get the message right now. But I've left a seed in their minds that eventually is going to start to grow. Dioza Princey 215, you're most definitely appreciated. You are the only mentor I trust 100%. Thank you for being authentic, unlocking something deep within me, and always inspiring me. Hey, Dioza Princey, I appreciate that title, right? And that's why I say I love to share with you wonderful deep divers. And I've only got the universe to thank. Because sometimes I even say, gosh, I've been here this long, this strong, and I'm still looking 19, feeling 17. This just shows me I'm on the right path. And that's what it's always about, because you can only stay here this long if you are exactly in your calling, your purpose, your mission. And all of you out there, if you're struggling in a job you hate, it's not your purpose. It's not your mission. You shouldn't even be there. If you are dreading in going into a workplace tomorrow or hating where you are right now, you've got to ask yourself, why am I doing what I really love? Why am I not doing what I really love? I told you. Do the thing you love to do, and the universe will take care of you. It's very simple, and it's very true, and it works for everyone, even you. That's a slow motion. A person's perspective, you're most definitely appreciated. Thank you so much. Sorry, that was a blue light. And the spaceship or whatever disappear in split second, like the USS Enterprise. And also thanks, Ralph. Hey, a person's perspective. Thank you so much. You're most definitely appreciated. Cali Boy Kenny, great question. Great question. Hit that like button, deep divers. Share the video. Hit that like button, deep divers. Share the video. Cali Boy Kenny, hi, thank you. How to act as if you already have it. That's a great question. That's a great question. You see, when we talk of the law of attraction, which is actually the law of correspondence, you've heard this saying by people like Abraham Hicks, act like it's already here. But you see, that only works up until a certain point. And if you say that and you don't believe it, it's not going to become a part of your reality. A lot of people say affirmations, they say mantras, they don't even believe what the hell they're talking about. It's not going to manifest for you. But also, we don't attract what we want. We attract what we have done the work for. That's a slow motion. Slow motion. We don't attract what we want. We attract what we have done the work for. So if you really want to act like it's here, you're going to have to start doing the work like it's here. So an example, when I said I only had 10 subscribers, I said, I'm inspiring millions of people because I'm acting like it's here. No, I had to start creating the work like I was inspiring millions of people. I had to be consistent. People say, Ralph, you're the Michael Jordan of YouTube because you're so consistent. It's like, gosh, every single day you got an amazing new video, 4K resolution, beautiful sound quality, studio quality. Everything is mastered, EQ down to the finest details. I had to put in the work. So if you want to act like it's here, you got to put in the work. See, there's no secret. You can't just say, I'm going to act like it's here. You got to show me the work like it's here. That's a slow motion. Starlight, you're most definitely appreciated. Shout out to you. Starlight 1111, thank you so much. Thank you, King Ralph, for going live and always inspiring, keeping it real. I always thought my whole life I came from another planet. How can you find out where you're from? Is it possible that you came from aliens? That's a great question. You see, you've got to remind yourself that not everyone is from the same place. Not everyone has the same level of consciousness, awareness, and there are levels. Everyone is here for a totally different reason than anybody else. And that's the reason why you have to really sit with yourself. You have to really take time out of the crowd, find yourself, and remind yourself not everyone is the same. There are people who are so advanced and they're young. They might be 18, 19, but they already get it. You got some people who are 80 years old. They're still stuck, stubborn. Their ass is in the matrix. They don't want to listen to anybody. And they're ignorant. So you have to always remind yourself that go back into your childhood. Were you the odd one out? Were you the one asking questions? All of this is a link to who you are. What kind of other people are you connecting with? What kind of other people are you connecting with? You see, there's a reason why birds of the same feather flock together. Birds of the same feather flock together. Let me shout out to Soul Star. Can you collab with Lo Da Pilot Man? I don't know who the hell that is or who the heaven that is. You got to tell me who that is first. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone who's here. Hit that like button, deep dive, and share the video. Hit that like button, deep dive, and share the video. Right? So we're in truly powerful times. The secret of secrets is all over. For so long, ignorance was having the front row seat. It was cool to be ignorant. It was cool to not know what was going on. We've come to the end of that cycle. And what you see right now is the last efforts and attempts to hold on to it. People, because everything comes to an end. Everything has a cycle. So at one point we lived in a golden age. You go back to ancient Sumeria, Elam, ancient Kemet, Egypt. There was a cycle of a golden age. That came to an end. Humanity was cast into the dark ages, the age of ignorance. That cycle is now coming to the end. We're at the last days of it. And this is the reason why in the last days of ignorance, you're going to see people clout chasing. The mere fact that you have 15-second video clips just to shock you or to say, oh my gosh, is giving people a reason to do things which aren't true. Because they say, I want to be famous. So you got pranksters out there who are stealing people's dogs to say, I want some views. This is what humanity has been reduced to. Because people just want to be known and seen. And this is a sign of the end times. When people do things just for attention, for clout, this is how you know the house of cards are falling. Because you see, in the golden age, you don't seek attention. Who you are brings you attention. That's a slow motion. And you even had a golden age of the music industry. When Michael Jackson won the music awards, all of them, at that same time, you had so many great singers. You had Prince in the same category as Michael Jackson. You had Sting. You had all of these legends all at the same time. Go and look at the song We Are the World, Lionel Richie, Stevie Wonder. You had so many elite artists who were all phenomenal in their own way. And they all came at the same time. That's the golden age of music. Diana Ross, all of these people. Oh, Deep Divers, I checked out that Bob Marley new film. It looked kind of... Did you see that as well? Bob Marley, the remake of his life story. Right? That seems interesting. But you had artists even like Bob Marley. You had all of these great artists all around at the same time. But then humanity fell into a very bad place. And it was no longer about the message. You had even artists like Lauryn Hill. But then that golden age went to a very bad place where it was all about how much you can dumb down people. It wasn't about the music anymore. And this is why you had mumble rappers. You had singers using auto-tune. In other words, they were showing you that we don't need to sing anymore. We can change our voice to sound like a machine. Now that art can be used. Roger Troutman, who did California Love, Dr. Dre worked with him. That was a special effect. But when you have every singer on the auto-tune, then the message becomes obsolete. So humanity fell from grace. Hey, Leah Living Vastina, you're most definitely appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you for raising the frequency and raising the vibration. Hope to see you at the 4BK Consciousness Awards. And yeah, I got to thank Mr. Carson for inviting me to the VIP section in Miami, the Conscious Award. And it's funny, right? Because I told you, we're doing the fashion show in Miami anyway. And it's not an accident or coincidence. I was invited to that award show VIP. So I always tell you how everything aligns in perfect order. And this is a very powerful time right now because you see, my whole thing was to connect with as many like minds as possible. And I'm doing that. And it's amazing what happens when two people come together who are doing similar things, just in different ways. And this is the good news. Right now, you're going to start to see more of that. Because you see, even the lower frequencies, they can create a kind of power when they come together. So you have their award shows. They do their award shows, right? So it's good that you have award shows for higher consciousness. Hit that like button, deep divers. Share the video if you support the real. Hit that like button. If you support the real, hit that like button. Let me know what's on your mind, deep divers. Hit that super chat. Reading every single super chat. It will be displayed on the screen. And if you've got a specific topic, if there's something we should know about, if there's something you want to talk about, let us know. Let me shout out to Rose Sky. Rose Sky, shout out to you. Hi, Ralphie. Can you talk about the symbolism of the gold discs on your wall? I love them. Hey, we can do that. We can do that. So these gold discs here, Medusa heads, right? People say, oh, it's Versace. right? You don't realize the ancient Greek symbolism. You know, Medusa was a Greek goddess, right? Medusa was someone who was once a very beautiful woman, right? And I got to do the whole story about it. But in other words, she became a symbol, just like the Eye of Fatima that they have in Persia. That's what this symbol is like. So it's to really ward off lower frequencies, lower vibrations. That's what the Medusa head is all about. That's why they would say if you stare at Medusa long enough, you're going to turn into stone. Because she actually became a symbol of protecting. She actually became a symbol of protecting. How you feeling today, deep diver? Shout out to everyone who's here, everyone who's diving deep. Everybody who's diving deep. K-Poppy. Do you think karma has a role in reincarnation? Shout out to you. That's a great question. What I will tell you is that what a lot of people think of as karma is not the kind of karma we think. So a lot of people will say, what goes around comes around. Ever seen someone who's done a lot of bad things, living a ripe old age, and you say, gosh, why is this happening? They say the good die young, right? You got to remind yourself that what people call karma is not what it actually is. And just because someone has done something very negative, it doesn't mean they're going to experience an effect immediately. It could take a lifetime. It could take several lifetimes. But what we do know is that it's going to stay in their frequency field. Energy can never be destroyed. Like the great Marcus Aurelius said, whatever we do now echoes on into eternity. And therefore, people bring the energy into different lifetimes. This is how karma ties into reincarnation. Marcus Aurelius was telling you what we do now echoes on into eternity. If you are someone who has a very bad energy, it's not going anywhere. Either you heal it or it stays with you. And this is why a lot of people, this is how kings and queens came back in a similar position. Because they rid themselves of that karma. They didn't kill other people. They got other people to kill other people. Right? And this is why I say you have to be careful, because someone can get you to do the dirty work. Those leaders, they don't send their own children to fight in wars. They send you. So the karma belongs to you. They keep their hands clean. So they still follow the universal principles to be karma free of that, because they know it carries an energetic attachment. So a lot of the masses don't realize that a lot of the things they do create these negative attachments throughout lifetimes. You got to come back in that same lower frequency. Great question. Blue Rose, shout out to you. Can you imagine the Little Mermaid? Wait a second, I think I have the Little Mermaid, right? Uh-oh, where did Little Mermaid just popped up right there? Blue Rose, shout out to you. Can you imagine the Little Mermaid asking her questions only to realize that a lot of people don't actually know anything? It can be frustrating. Hey, shout out to you. I appreciate that. Hit that like button, deep divers, share the video. If you support The Real, hit that like button. Starlight, you're most definitely appreciated. Coming in on the 11/11. I am grateful that I was guided to find you on YouTube in 2017. My life has changed for the better because of all that you do. I searched this online but found different answers. Who are the 7 archangels? Shout out to you. Shout out to you. There is hierarchy even within the angels. There is hierarchy even within the demons. Hierarchy exists everywhere, and there's levels. And you've got to remind yourself that every angel, every demon has a specific role. How you feeling today, deep divers? Shout out to everyone who's here. Everyone who's diving deep. Dioza. But if they told someone to do the dirty work, aren't they still attached to that energy? Well, they don't tell you. They don't have to tell you that. All they have to do is create the idea of it. See, this is how they can avoid that karma, that karma. They can just say, hey, they can throw out the idea there. And if you are gullible enough or dumbed down enough to do it, then it's on you. And this is the reason why a lot of the people who run things in the Matrix, they don't do it themselves. It's the masses who are creating the most karma, which is not serving them by doing things not in alignment with their true energy. That's a slow motion. The secret of secrets, deep divers, is all over. Matrix, ETs, UFOs, time, hidden knowledge with infinite waters, right? With infinite waters. So right now we're in truly powerful times of really reminding ourselves that time is running out. Man-made time is even running out. You know, for so long, people have been obsessed with a materialistic way of life. A way of life which has kept them disconnected, not only from each other, but from themselves. And now people are tapping in to the book of life. I started the show saying reality is not what it seems. Everything is happening inside of your head, not out there. This is huge. This is huge. Because whatever you focus on is going to grow. Whatever you focus on is going to multiply. And this is a secret of secrets. Quantum physics shows experiments that go on. Let me shout out to Kyla. You're most definitely appreciated. Let me shout out to Kyla. You are most definitely appreciated. And all of you wonderful deep divers who are here. Kayla Sphinx, you are appreciated. Sphinx, you are appreciated. Every misfortune is a blessing in disguise. Someone, something always gives us. Either you give up and quit, or the obstacle failure gives up and makes a way for success to come through. R.I.P. Akeem. Shout out to you. You're most definitely appreciated. You're most definitely appreciated. Let me shout out to Starlight. Thank you for all the work that you do behind the scenes besides all the videos that you make. How does a YouTuber know when they're ready to do a live stream? That's a great question. That's a great question. Well, let me tell you this, that I had to step up my live streaming game, deep divers. And it's very difficult to create, period. Because you got to remind yourself, when you're creating, you're using your right brain, living in a left brain society. When you're a creator, you have to become an enigma. You have to be someone who is able to think outside of the box. You have to really do what a lot of people are not doing. And I was doing that, and I'm doing that. But I did say, okay, let me really learn to live stream. Let me really test myself every single day. I was inspired by people on Twitch. I was inspired by people who were live streaming. I'm like, oh, I want to live stream as well. But I had to respect live streaming, because live streaming, how I live stream, is on the next level. And it takes a lot of courage to do a live stream, to connect with people in live time, but also preparation, planning. You got to know what you got to say. And when you're doing regular uploads like me every day, and then you do the live stream, it's over. It's over. It's over, because there's a great benefit of going live. And when I did all the interviews with the guests, I was going live. Like last week, we did the live show. It was phenomenal. And this is the benefits of learning how to live stream. Valiant Gordon. So Ralph, what about the UFOs and invasion? A shout out to you. Like I say, we're living in a world where a lot of people are not really learning that we've never ever been alone. And we are always being visited every single day by ETs, UFOs. And now it's becoming more seeped in the collective mind that actually so much else is going on. And this is not new information. This is information which has even been in the Bible. The Nephilim, the giants, walked the earth. Sumerian tablets talk about it. But when you listen to people who are experts on this, people like Dr. Stephen Greer, talks about how they're not malevolent. A lot of the UFOs, they're not here to hurt humanity. They're here to help humanity advance to the next level. Everything changes. Right? I hope I answered your question. Let me shout out to Hippos. You're most definitely appreciated. Shout out to you. So we're in powerful, powerful times right now. This is a calling for all of you to realize that nothing is more powerful than the awakening. Nothing is more powerful than the awakening. Ever seen someone who's doing something that just inspires your whole soul, who makes you want to be better, live better, and also find out who you really are? It's a game changer. And humanity hasn't really experienced that. Humanity hasn't really experienced being uplifted, being taken to another place. This cycle is coming to an end. The cycle of wars, the cycle of separation, it's on its last legs. And it's going to do everything it can in its power to hold on. But it was written in the book of life that is coming to an end. A new cycle is beginning. A new dawn is upon us. People like Eckhart Tolle has talked about it as the new earth. People like Ralph Smart has talked about it as the new earth, the fifth dimension. And we have to remind ourselves, like I said in the beginning, this is not the only reality. This is where everything changes. When we talk of becoming our greatest versions, to realize this is not the only reality. There is so much more better in front of you than what you see. And therefore, you must not allow yourself to think this is all there is. You must switch off, unplug, deprogram, unlearn. And the moment you start to change yourself, the moment you start to shift and immerse yourself into a whole new reality, it's about learning to let go. And a lot of people are doing that right now. And this is the reason why it's over for a lot of people. It's been over. When you find out the tooth fairy isn't real, Santa Claus isn't real, all of these things can be a shock to children. But they grow up and realize it was just their mom putting money under the pillow. Many people don't realize everything you see in the Matrix is a construct. But it's not actually how things are naturally supposed to be. And many people are waking up to this. And this is the reason why the program is crashing. Because for so long, let me shout out to K-Poppy, you're most definitely appreciated. Thank you so much, K-Poppy. I appreciate that. You're a game changer. Next level. You're a game changer, Ralph. Next level. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to be the game changer. And we are the game changers. And we've got to remind ourselves this cycle is coming to an end, because people are now realizing there's so much more. There are missing pieces to the jigsaw. This can't be life. And we're reaching that critical mass of the 1%. You see, it's only ever taken 1% of a population to change how the population thinks. They've done studies on this. When a group of monkeys, when 1% changes, all of them change through mirror neurons. When 1% of the population, 8 billion people, 80 million people wake up, the collective just changes. All you need is 1% of people to be on board with the same frequency and vibration, with the same mindset. And we're reaching that point of 80 million people, 1% of 8 billion, waking up, spreading good energy, love, harmony, peace, realizing that being free is our birthright. It's already here. And this is the reason why you see such monumental shifts happening. It's not because the masses are waking up. It's because the 1% is forming. Just 1% of the population is waking up. So it's amazing, just a small change in the population can create the overall change. And that's what we see before us. You see, a lot of people right now, being in the information age, are stumbling across a book, watching a video, getting information. This is the information age. And this is a good thing, because now people have another alternative. Now there can be misinformation. But if you come across the right information, your entire life can change in a few seconds. We're in a time right now where people are upgrading overnight. People are saying, I want to change my entire life because I've seen something, I've heard something, I've felt something. So we're in the acceleration, the quickening, where if you see someone, you come back next year, they're a whole nother person. They're a whole nother being. This is the time we're in right now. People are changing so fast. It's unbelievable. You might be the one. You might know someone. They're not the same who they were 3 months ago, 2 months ago, because we're in a time right now where people are going through tremendous change and metamorphosis. Let me shout out to Starlight. Deep Divers, hit that like button, share the video. Hit that like button if you support the real Deep Divers. Share this video. Oh, we're having fun. Powerful show. Starlight, shout out to you. Thank you, Ralph Smart, for all of your wisdom and knowledge. Was the Bible really made by men who was inspired by God, or is it another thing that the Matrix made? Is there people on planet Earth at higher dimensions than the 5D? That's a great question. Great question. Absolutely. It was created by people who were inspired by God. They were inspired by the divine. In fact, you've got to remind yourself, and that's why I always say, all of these are programs designed to help you wake up. A lot of people don't realize a lot of the architecture, the beautiful architecture, was inspired through religious experiences. So it was definitely inspired by people, written by people who were inspired by God. But you have to remind yourself as well, keyword inspired. You have to remind yourself, I was raised in the church, but I realized you have to find out who you really are. Religion is for people who are afraid to go to hell. Spirituality is for people who've already been there. That's a slow motion. And you've got to remind yourself, you can connect with the Most High, God, the universe, whatever name you have for it, just by going within yourself. Let me shout out to Alexander. You're most definitely appreciated. Shout out to you. Alexander Gosiv, you are appreciated. Thank you so much. I finally understood the vibrating body. All is one, chakras, and taking action. I'm ready to master a craft, but how do I increase this vibration? And are certain tasks like working only possible in a certain dimension? Shout out to you. When we talk of really increasing the vibration to perform a certain skill, perform a task, you've got to remind yourself that consistency is key. Practice is key. The best tennis players aren't just there because they woke up one day. They've been doing it since they were 5. Ralph Smart is able to make a video with no script out of thin air because he's been doing this, practicing every single day. And this is how you can increase your vibration. If you're ready to master a certain craft, practice every single day with love, with gratitude, saying, hey, I'm so thankful I get another opportunity to show the universe what I'm truly made of. You've got to remind yourself, when I'm making these videos, even live streaming is another practice I've got to practice. That's why I go live. I want to practice this till I master it. But you can only do that when you throw yourself in the lion's den. When you say, okay, let me try different camera angles. Hey, what's up? Let me go back here, right? You have to throw yourself in the lion's den. You have to go out and do it. You have to start getting out of your comfort zone. A lot of people, they don't try anything new. They don't challenge themselves. So they wake up being in the same position. And the secret of secrets is learning. You have to start challenging yourself. Because as you go to the next level, a new door shall be opened for you. A new way shall be shown to you. But you got to do something hard that scares you, that makes you nervous, sweaty palms. If you're always playing it safe, good luck. Your life is not going to change. All the people who are doing it big, manifesting big, they're taking big, calculated risks. They're stepping out of the comfort zone. The secret of secrets, deep divers, is all over. I started saying that reality changes when you change. There is no such thing as one reality. There are billions, trillions, infinite amount of realities in existence. It's just that You've been locked, just like a mobile phone, into one network, what we call the smart grid, the matrix, whatever name you have for it. And you have to start unlocking so the SIM card, can go in any device and still work. I like that analogy, deep divers. In quantum physics, there's an experiment. You have the double slit experiment. You also have experiments that when you observe electrons or particles or waves, when an experimenter is there, it changes the whole experiment. Just by observing the experiment, you change the outcome of the experiment. This shows us that our own energy influences everything around it. The great work of Dr. Emoto showed how water can change based on the sound vibrations. It's called cymatics. Sound can change matter. He played classical music. The waters formed this beautiful crystal symmetrical shape. Then he played words of anger and hate, and they lost their beautiful crystal structure and their symmetry. He showed you, Dr. Emoto, through cymatics, how sound frequency changes matter. So just imagine all of the words you're telling yourself every single day. If you're trash talking yourself, just imagine what it's doing to the water within you. That's a slow motion. It's the secret of secrets, deep divers. We are here to ultimately create our own reality. Right now, it is truly time to give up fear. It is truly time to welcome in love. Are you ready for that, deep divers? Hit that like button and share the video. Hit that like button and share the video. If you support the real, hit that like button. Let's raise the frequency, deep divers.
I'm so happy. The whole world is just beginning. We already won. It's about us all. So many beautiful deep divers here. It's a choice.
It's always a choice. Deep divers, like I say, a shout out to everyone who's here. We've just dived deep into this powerful topic. And this is what this whole series is called, Secrets of Secrets. Anytime I go live, we're going to be diving into the secret of secrets, because there is so much to uncover, so much to dive into. And these live shows are all about you. It's all about what's on your mind. You got a topic you want to talk about, you want to discuss about something, we're going to talk about it, right? But I always say, I want to say a thank you to the universe for giving me so much energy. I just put out a video, and now this video is another one. And this is what happens with gratitude. This is what happens when you realize you don't want to take this gift for granted. because it just keeps coming. We are the ones changing the world. Mac, thank you so much. Absolutely. Absolutely, Mac. We are the ones changing the world. We've got to remind ourselves, we don't have to worship the celebrities. We are the celebrities. We are the elite as well. When you find your power, you realize nobody's in your way. Nobody's out to get you. We're in a time right now where righteousness and the good is prevailing over the evil, over the wickedness. Because in the movies, the good guys always win. But in the Matrix, the bad guys always win. And that's why you got to be out of the Matrix, to make sure the movie goes the right way. That was a slow motion. Right now, you got to ask yourself, am I in the right place? Am I in the place I know, which is going to help me grow to become my greatest version? I am. And that's the reason why the seas are parting ways. Make sure you are too. Deep divers, once again, go and check out the best-selling book, Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/the-book. Also, the Good Ass Prana shirts, ralphsmart.com/clothes, spreadshirt.com if you're in America. The Book of 1111 Quotes by Ralph Smart at ralphsmart.com/the-book. I want to thank everyone who's been here. And like I say, deep divers, I'll be back. Go and check out today's new video. Go and watch this one again. We covered so many powerful topics and really dived into it. Once again, thank you to everyone who hit that super chat, who supported the show. And anytime we do these shows, let's always, I want to read your questions. I want to read your messages. So everyone who left a comment, a message, you are most definitely appreciated. Deep divers, let's continue to raise the frequency and let's continue to raise the vibration. Once again, hit that like button and share the video. Hit that like button and share the video if you support the real. One love. We out.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There's a call on humanity right now, and it's serious business. All around the world, you can feel it. The ascension is happening. The shift is kicking in. The conscious is getting higher and higher. You can feel the godliness. You can feel the power within. It's that time. Divine intervention. Divine intervention. A call for humanity to rise up to its power. Your power. your power. Just rise up to your power. Just rise up to your power. To your power. 5D mind state. It's all about love. It's all about the people. It's all about you. It's all about me. It's all about we. And together, unity. And together.